You're watching Reality Check. We've not heard so far from the government a convincing defense for the Discriminatory Citizenship Amendment Act, which allows undocumented migrants from all religions except Muslims a path to Indian citizenship. Even as protests continue to simmer, the only defense that we've heard is that the act is meant to help persecuted religious minorities from neighboring Muslim majority countries. The religious persecution defense has been mounted again and again by top leaders of the government.
किसी नए शरणार्थी को इस कानून का फायदा नहीं मिलेगा। पाकिस्तान, अफगानिस्तान और बांग्लादेश से धार्मिक कारणों से परेशानी जो हुई, प्रताड़ना जो हुई, उन्हीं लोगों को सुरक्षा देने के लिए ये कानून है। ये संशोधन, ये अमेंडमेंट क्या है? हमने बदलाव ये किया है कि भारत की नागरिकता लेने की सहूलियत और बढ़ा दी है। ये सहूलियत किसके लिए बढ़ाई है? उन लोगों के लिए जिन पर बंटवारे के बाद बने पाकिस्तान में उनकी धार्मिक आस्था की वजह से अत्याचार हुआ, जुल्म हुआ।
पूरी दुनिया में से जो भी मुसलमान आएगा इसको हम यहां नागरिकता दे देंगे। किस तरह से देंगे? देश कैसे चलेगा? ऐसे नहीं चल सकता। ये निश्चित वर्ग के लिए है, जिनके धर्म के अनुसरण के लिए वो तीन राज्यों में अनुकूलता नहीं है, उनको प्रताड़ित किया जा रहा है। वो तीन देशों के अल्पसंख्यकों को ही नागरिकता देने का प्रावधान है।
But now there seems to be a U-turn of sorts on religious persecution. The proposed rules for the CAA, rules that will determine how these persecuted minorities will get citizenship, has no mention of religious persecution. The proposed rules, which have been shared with journalists by Home Ministry, ask for these following documents, government documents that migrants will have to show. They'll have to prove their religion, whether they're Hindu, Sikh, Jain, Buddhist, Christian or Parsi. Number two, they'll have to prove with government documents that they entered India before 2014 from the three countries, Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan. There also appears to be an attempt to have only a 3-month window to apply for citizenship, a nod in a sense to pressure from the northeast, where there's a fear that if you keep the window too wide, you'll end up with an influx. Now, in some ways, the absence of the proof of religious persecution from the rules was expected. As more than one person has pointed out, the bill itself does not mention it. It does not mention religious persecution. It only makes an appearance in the statements of objects and reasons. The BJP's top leader in Assam had already indicated that persecution would be dropped from the rules because it can't be proved.
What I have said, that it is not possible to prove that I have been subject to religious persecution, because if I have to prove it, then I have to go to Bangladesh, or I have to collect a copy of FIR, copy of police report.
But even by removing persecution, will these new diluted rules benefit those it's meant to? We spoke to migrants from Pakistan and Bangladesh to ask them if they had the government documents that proved they indeed came from those countries and which proved their religious identity. The experience is mixed. Hindu migrants from Pakistan based in Jaipur told us that they came in on visas and had Pakistani passports, which proves their date of entry and religion.
हम यहाँ पे 2005 में आए थे और वीज़ा और पासपोर्ट के साथ आए थे, तो उसमें डेट और एक्सपायरी डेट सब लिखा होता है, इसमें तो कोई नहीं है। और इसमें यह भी लिखा है कि हम हिंदू हैं। हाँ, 2015 में एप्लीकेशन लगाई थी नागरिकता के लिए। मम्मी पापा को तो मिल चुकी है और हमें नहीं मिली अभी तक। हम
डॉक्यूमेंट से आते हैं। ये मेरा पासपोर्ट है, इसमें वीज़ा लिखा हुआ है, इसमें कास्ट भी लिखी हुई है, इसमें रिलीजन लिखा होता है, इसमें हम हिंदू हैं और इसे हम वीज़े पे आते हैं। हमारे पास बिना वीज़ा मतलब बिना पासपोर्ट के कोई नहीं आ पाएगा? नहीं, बिना पासपोर्ट के तो कोई आ ही नहीं सकता। क्योंकि ये बॉर्डर पे होते हैं, पासपोर्ट चेक होता है, इमिग्रेशन होता है, कस्टम होता है, सब चीज़ होती है। उसके आधार पर हम यहाँ पे आते हैं। 1 महीने का हमें विजिट वीज़ा दिया जाता है। जब हम यहाँ पे आते हैं तो आप शरण लेते हो ना? हाँ, फिर हम अप्लाई करते हैं परमानेंट रहने के लिए।
1971 की जंग के बाद में बॉर्डर फैंस हो गए। एक भी व्यक्ति हिंदू या मुस्लिम बिना वैलिड डॉक्यूमेंट के भारत में आया ही नहीं है पाकिस्तान से। दूसरा पॉइंट ये है कि सबके पासपोर्ट में उनका धर्म लिखा रहता है। ये पाकिस्तान की गवर्नमेंट का अरेंजमेंट है। तीसरा, जितने भी लोग आते हैं वीजा लेके आते हैं और वीजा लेके आते ही अपना सीआईडी में सबसे पहले रजिस्ट्रेशन कराते हैं। तो ये तीनों चीजें ऑन रिकॉर्ड है।
But Hindu migrants from Bangladesh based in Pilibhit, Uttar Pradesh said they have no documents to show.
कुछ नहीं है।
कुछ नहीं।
अच्छा,
यहाँ जोन है ही है बस। रेशन कार्ड भी वही सब है, सब और कुछ नहीं।
इसके तो कोई प्रमाण नहीं है। उसके प्रमाण तो जो है सभी जगह में खबर चल गया, सब जानते हैं कि वहाँ अत्याचार हो रहा है हिंदू के ऊपर। करीब 50 साल से ऊपर हो गया यहाँ रह रहे, तो आप साबुत कैसे दिखाएंगे?
Okay, so questions arising again whether there is some kind of confusion over what exactly the government is hoping to achieve with these rules. Is it in fact leading on people who may not have even those basic documents? And what about this entire question of religious persecution? Joining us tonight on the show, we have with us Vijeta Singh, journalist, The Hindu, and also here in the studio with us, Shadan Farasat, advocate, Supreme Court. So Vijeta Singh, just to understand from you, because you cover the Home Ministry, now what exactly is going on? We understand that these are the proposed rules, they're not finalized yet, but religious persecution, which was supposed to be the basis of this entire act, is not in the rules.
Yes, exactly. The Citizenship Amendment Act was passed by the Parliament on December 11th. On January 10th this year, they notified that the act will come into force from Jan 10 onwards. But till now, the rules have not been notified yet. The rules are the ones which will govern the act. And till now, we don't know, we clearly don't know. Few days after the protests swelled up against CAA, the Press Information Bureau, they put out certain tweets and they issued statements which said that none of the applicants under CAA will be given citizenship automatically. All the applicants, they will have to go through police verification, and MHA will issue citizenship certificates only after verifying each and every applicant.
Right.
So clearly there is the rules have not been spelled out yet, and we don't know, but we keep getting these off the record briefings where we are told that you have to prove that you came before 2014 through some document or the other, because
Right.
Punjab Chief Minister, he raised a very important question that anybody can enter India after 2014 and claim that I came before the cutoff date. So
Right.
how are the authorities going to prove? So the response to that question was that you need to have, like, possess some document or the other proving that you came, indeed entered India before
Right.
December 31st, 2014, because this act primarily benefits undocumented minority community, 6 minority communities from
Right.
Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh.
Okay, so this is now, okay, so this is the thing, Shadan, that firstly, it has been so many days, rules have not been framed. Now this, if this is the final shape of the rules, that there is going to be no mention of religious persecution, how does that work?
So I'm not surprised, firstly, because the act itself, as you rightly mentioned, does not talk about religious persecution. It
That's
just
right.
identifies certain religious group from certain countries.
Right.
Therefore, it furthers the points of those who have challenged this before the Supreme Court, that this, listen, this act is not at all about religious persecution. Because now let's just use this example. You have a Bangladeshi Hindu and a Bangladeshi Muslim. Both say migrate to Indian West Bengal for economic reasons. From the same village. They jump over the wire, migrate into this. Now, neither of them are persecuted. They are both economic migrants. Under this bunch, now even as per the rules, one of them gets citizenship in India, other continues to be an illegal migrant. Now, this is clear-cut religious discrimination. This
Right.
act is not about religious persecution, and the rules only prove that point.
Okay, so Vivek Reddy of the BJP also joining us, and also Aman Vadood joining us, who's a human rights activist and lawyer from Guwahati. Vivek, thanks for joining us. Now, Vivek, this is the whole point, that it appears that, as many people have suspected, that the rules of the CAA are not going to involve any proof of religious persecution. And Shahriar Faratas is saying that that exposes the government's claim that this was about persecution. He's saying this has nothing to do with persecution. This is simply to try to ensure a way that Muslims are left out and everybody else comes in.
Well, Vasu, I have only one question to ask. Have the rules come? The rules have not been framed. So how can we speculate and say that the rules are not going to include it?
Because,
this is number one. Second,
because two answers to that.
Say
Two,
that the
can I
act
answer
is
that?
not about religious.
No, since you asked a question, can I answer that?
Yes.
Number one.
Yes, yes.
Number one,
Yes,
we are
yes.
basing this
Yes.
on informal information given by the Home Ministry to a host of media outlets, and therefore it appeared on the front page of every national newspaper and also reported by NDTV that there will be no mention of religious persecution. Number two, your own top leader, Himanta Biswa Sarma from Assam, has said that the rules will not include religious persecution because you cannot prove religious persecution. So, on the basis of this, it's reasonable to assume that the rules won't have it. Now, of course, you may surprise us and
Well,
say
I
that the
think we
rules
are
may have
still-
it, but at the moment it doesn't look like that, which is why your claim that this is to protect those from religious persecution is being questioned.
Well, I think I have two answers for this, Vasu. First of all, this is in an area of vast speculation that we are saying that the rules may have it, may not have it. Some sources have disclosed that they will have it, and Sarvanand Sonowal has said it. Well,
No,
these are all
Himanta Biswa.
speculative. This is number one. Second
Himanta
is,
Biswa. Yes.
if you look at the structure of the act, coming into the issue of religious persecution.
Yes.
If you look at the structure of the act,
Yes.
the act in its preamble says, in its statement of objects and reasons says, that religious persecution has been the basis of providing this cover or shade of citizenship to these persons because they cannot go back to their states or to their
No, the
original
Act
homelands.
doesn't say it.
Now, if this is the basic premise of the act,
The Act doesn't say it.
the
The
statement of objects, it's enough for
reasons says
the,
it.
it is
The
enough.
Act
of the
The
bill.
statement of objects and reasons. It is
Statements
enough.
and objects
It is
are
when you
reasons
gather,
of the,
how
of
do you
the-
gather the intention
of the
of
bill,
the act?
by the way.
Yes.
Of the bill, not
What
the
is,
Act.
That's right.
what is the statement of objections? What is, right, what is the statement of object and reasons? It is the guiding spirit of the act. It is because of the statement of objects and reasons that the act has been promulgated.
That's-
how do you decouple both of them?
No, no,
This is what many of these
no one
analyzers,
is
I'm not
decoupling it
able to
except
understand
perhaps
these
you.
liberal analyzers
No, no,
who try
Vivek,
to decouple these two and say there is
Vivek,
no religious
the point
persecution.
is, no, Vivek, the point is, if you're saying that it
Yes.
it is very much part of the spirit of the Act, the basis of the Act, then to then
Yes.
not have it as part of the rules is itself contradictory, yes?
Well, the rules, who said? It may be part of the rules, it may not be part of the rules.
So you're
but
saying that
the
you will ask
core
people for
issue
proof of
is
religious
this.
persecution?
When the rules are framed.
No, one second.
One second.
In that
one second.
so are you
Allow me to
saying,
just complete.
Vivek, so are
Once
you
the
saying,
rules are framed.
are you saying there's
Vasu,
a
one
chance
second.
that people
Once
will
the
be asked
rules
to
are
prove religious
framed-
persecution? Is that possible?
It all depends on how the rules are framed. It all depends on how the rules are framed. But let me tell you one thing, that the Act has said in its statement of objects and reasons that people of these nations have come from those places.
Not the Act,
because
the
they
bill.
were religiously persecuted. The Act assumes that they are religiously
Not the
persecuted.
Act, the bill.
So the Act says those who have come before December 31st, 2014 will be granted citizenship. The statement of objects and reasons says that they have been religiously persecuted. So the Act does not contemplate proving religious persecution.
That's
Let
my
me tell
whole
you,
point.
let us be clear. And there
But
was one
that's the
previous
whole-
panelist
that's
who was
the whole-
saying
but that is
that
the
look
very
here,
point I'm
look here,
saying.
people have come for economic
is the whole
opportunities.
point.
Well, that is totally different. Economic opportunities
But-
is not where
No, but that is the whole
citizenship is
point.
not given for economic opportunities.
But you're now, but
And
hold
if my
on now,
learned friend
Vivek, you're
cannot understand the simple basic common sense.
No,
I
Vivek,
really
you
don't
are
know what
tying
he can
yourself up
understand.
into knots. On
It
one
is
hand,
so
you're
evident,
saying that the
self-evident
Act
in the Act.
assumes that just because you've come from those countries, you're religiously persecuted. Then on the other hand, you're saying economic persecution is a different thing. You can't have it both ways. If you're assuming that somebody has come from the countries religiously
It is not
persecuted,
economic persecution.
then how can
Economic
you
opportunity.
distinguish between it religious and otherwise?
Economic opportunity.
Okay.
It is not. No. I'm really surprised how the previous panelists could not separate economic opportunity with religious persecution? Isn't the dividing line very clear? If he can't understand that much, then the parliament can't do anything else.
Okay,
It can't
Aman
go and
Wadud.
make him understand.
Okay,
Well, the parliament has written the law.
Okay, okay.
He has to
I will
understand
ask him to explain whether he's understood or not. But Aman Wadud, coming to you, Vijeta, in a second. Aman Wadud, just to ask you that this is something which, I mean, if indeed the rules don't have that filter of religious persecution, is that going to be a matter of concern for those in the Northeast? Because I think that that was a concern, that the Northeast particularly wanted stronger filters, but now it appears that the filters may not be that stringent.
Look, the basic argument by this government to bring Citizenship Amendment Act was that people in these three countries, non-Muslims in these three countries, are persecuted on the basis of religion. Then came the act where the religious persecution was not mentioned, although in the object it was mentioned. I will not be surprised that tomorrow, if in the rules they don't keep a provisions for religious persecutions. Religious persecution was actually not the ground. I mean, the ultimate intent is the NPR and NRC, where it will make one community will be more vulnerable than the others. That is the ultimate intent. Otherwise, if you see, the Home Minister says that there are crores of people who came from these three countries. In Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma says that only 5 lakh people came. And most of these people have applied for NRC by giving pre-1971 documents who were already Indian citizens. Right? So there was no need of this bill. So the ultimate intent is not, I don't think the ultimate intent is to protect religiously persecuted people from these three countries, but to make one community more vulnerable than the others in the NPR and the NRC process.
Okay. Vijeta, yes. Vijeta, go ahead.
So I wanted to make a point that the Citizenship Amendment Act, the bill, initially it was first introduced in 2015. It has been 5 years, so the bill was eventually passed in December last year, but it has been 5 years under consideration of the government. So why haven't they been able to put together the rules together and publish them as soon as the act was passed? What is it that is taking so much time? What is holding them back? And CAA as a subject is one of the primary issues that is being raised by the BJP for the Delhi elections. If you're so convinced about the act that is going to benefit so many people, where are the rules? Why haven't they been able to put them together?
Right.
Plus, as Aman pointed out, what are the number of beneficiaries, benefactors? The answer to this question is not available. So on the floor of the House, the Home Minister said that lakhs and crores, but that's a vague number. How many lakhs? How many crores? The country, I mean, the people, they're supposed to know if an act is being brought to benefit such a large section of people. Can we at least get to know the definite numbers? Who are the beneficiaries?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yes.
I mean, of course, one of the reasons, Shadan, as we know, that the delay is also because there's a intense negotiation. The government is kind of winging it. They're kind of trying to figure out these things as they go along. And one of the reasons is there's an intense negotiation going on with the Northeast, where they're concerned that the CAA could open up the floodgates. So a lot of this back and forth, what to put in, what not to put in, have a 3-month cutoff, which again seems quite arbitrary, again is coming because of these conversations going on with the Northeast. But the other point here, Shadan, is that even if you were to put the filter of proving your religion on a government document or proving that you entered from these three countries, the government document, as we found, even that's going to be difficult for people to prove.
Yes, I think I agree with Vijeta and you that there's complete confusion within the government in terms of how to implement it. So they have done this thing and they really don't know. Even the supposed beneficiaries, your report itself showed people will not have documents of their religion as it was in the state from which they originated. Now, so even the supposed beneficiary won't be able to benefit. So I don't think they have been able to come up with a formula which will actually achieve the objective, even assuming it was to be religious persecution. But in this case, if they are not using religious persecution, it's simply certain religious groups. And I think the fact that it's taking so much time, it's been more than 1 month, clearly means the government is completely confused.
But you still stand by your point that this entire religious persecution aspect is somewhat of a garb. It's not the real intent. The
Yes.
real intent is something else.
Yes.
And that is what you are going to now raise in court. We just have us joining on the show. We have Pradyot Manakya Dev Burma, who is of course a former PCC president from Tripura, but now he's got his own outfit. So thanks very much, Pradyot, for joining us. We have very little time on the show. But tell us now, the CAA, it appears, the rules, it appears, will not even ask for proof of religious persecution. Just you have to prove your religion and the fact that you entered from these three countries before a cut-off date. Is that going to be a matter of concern for the Northeast?
Extremely. In fact, this is, I'm sorry for the late, I mean, the traffic jam in Delhi is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
The fact is that Amit Shah has said that you don't need to prove any documents to say that if you have come even before 2014 or henceforth. So if someone enters yesterday, he or she is under no pressure.
I'm not sure if he said that though.
No, he said that in the parliament, that aapko ration card bhi nahi dikhana padega. Now, the fact is that you are under no pressure to prove any documents. And the fact is that, let's be very honest, we in the Northeast are a sacrificial lamb. The larger agenda of the BJP is West Bengal. They want to win West Bengal and they have sacrificed us in the Northeast. In my state of Tripura, we have suffered tremendously. And you know, the only state which has already allowed enough persecuted Hindus to come in was the state of Tripura, Assam and Meghalaya. But today, you have not exempted us, who have already accepted lakhs and lakhs of people, but you have exempted states which have not even accepted even one.
So
because
you're
it's
saying,
vote bank politics. It's clear vote bank politics.
You're saying it's vote bank politics. You're not. So you're not even saying that put in stronger filters for CAA. You just are completely against CAA as a whole.
Can I say one more thing? You know,
very quickly.
Yeah, because you have said that CAA is exempted in 6 scheduled areas, right? So that means those people who are from Bangladesh, who have entered and are living in 6 scheduled areas, and there are lakhs and lakhs of them.
Right.
They exempted under CAA. Tomorrow when NRC happens, where do these people go? Government hasn't thought it through, and now they are course correcting it, but they're already in a deep soup, and they're going to make a lot of mistakes in the coming days, because NRC will be a problem for them in this issue.
Vivek, so respond to that, that here you have somebody, Pradyot from Tripura, saying that this is done purely as vote bank politics. Religious persecution is just a front.
Well, Vasu, I have only one question to ask my friend from Congress.
No, I'm not
It is
in
very
Congress.
Basic.
He's not in Congress
There
anymore,
is
Vivek.
persecution
Ex-Congress.
in these.
Yes.
All right. I thought I heard PCC. Sorry. I stand corrected. But there is only one question that I'd ask you ask him. If it was vote bank politics, I'd like to ask him. First of all, from all these three nations, even today, there are glaring incidents of religious persecution, of conversion, of rape, of lifting people from marriages, as has happened a week ago in Pakistan.
But CAA doesn't help them.
And all of them have feared this sort of a environment and come to India. This is number one.
But CAA can't help.
What did he tell
CAA
them?
can't help anybody who's there right now. By the way,
die in hell. This is number one.
No, one
This
second.
is number one.
CAA can't help anybody who's there right now.
Issue. Do you know that Congress?
CAA can't help anybody who's
Do you
there
know
right
that
now.
Congress under Manmohan Singh had made a plea in the
Vivek.
parliament asking
1 second, Vivek. Yes.
please give citizenship to
Vivek,
them. What do you say?
I'll answer. You've asked
That is
me
vote bank politics.
You've asked me a specific question. I'll answer it. First of all, I hold no brief for Congress. Congress also played vote bank politics. That's why Congress is equally unacceptable in Northeast now. Your question saying that people who have been persecuted, Tripura, Meghalaya, Assam have accepted lakhs and lakhs of persecuted Hindus. Why have you not exempted us and exempted states which haven't even taken one persecuted Hindu? Because these are states where you don't win elections. You win elections in these 3 states where I have said it. And hence, this is vote bank politics.
Okay, all right. We'll have to leave it there. We're completely out of time.
Today,
Vivek.
the whole of India is willing to accept them.
Okay, Vivek.
Then please share the burden.
whole
Then
of
please
India
share
is
the
willing to
burden.
accept them.
Do not
As
dump it into
Tripura
only
and
3
Assam have
states.
done it.
Please share the
We will-
burden.
Okay, we'll have to
accept
leave
them.
it there. Vivek,
We will
we'll come
accept
back to
them.
you. We'll come back to the story on Reality Check. That's all the time we have. Good night.